What is up, guys, and welcome back to Average Guy DIY. We are continuing part 3 of the motorized drop-down shelf. That piece that I'm holding right there is how we will tuck the wires and just kind of hide them away and still keep that professional look. I was going to paint these pieces white, but after seeing how they looked inside the cupboards, I actually kept them black and they turned out just fine. The L-shaped brackets worked out great because not only can you not see the wires, you also can't see the screws that are holding these pieces in place as well. As you can see, it looks really nice and professional, and the wood is recycled. It used to be an old picture frame that I found on the garbage, so it doesn't get better than that. This would be our regular full cupboard, still looks great. I checked on Kijiji for some used drywall, but I couldn't find any. I had to buy some from our local hardware store for 10 bucks a pop. Now, because this drywall only came in certain sizes and I had to buy ones that were already cut down to size, I had to create a middle mount so that the drywall has something to hang on to. It wasn't long enough to go end to end. I used these singular L-shaped brackets to mount this middle support piece to the wall. This will only be carrying the weight of the drywall, so it doesn't have to be overly strong. It's mostly going to be cosmetic. You can see where I've placed it, and my drywall sheets will have to end up in the middle of this support post. Make sure that that measurement is as accurate as possible, and this pertains to any drywall installation. Once you cut that drywall, you cannot get it back, so you want to make sure that it is perfect. Cutting through drywall is pretty straightforward. I always flip the drywall around and then cut the back of it as well, and it usually should just fall off. Takes a few cuts though, it doesn't always happen on the first one. Here I have one piece of drywall installed successfully, and then I add some extra screws just to secure it in place. At this point, I can't stress this enough, your measurements would have to be pretty accurate, because if they're not, at the end of this project, you will have lines and seams showing that you do not want showing. So you would definitely want to take your time at this part. Remember, at the end of the day, we want to make sure that when you look at this unit, it looks the exact same as all the other drywall around it. So we want it to be very nice finish work. So that's what we're working on here. I also want this motorized drop-down shelf to be super simple to use. So even if we are not in this condo, whoever the new owners are, they'll be able to just go up, click a button, and the shelf will come down automatically. I made a paper cutout for these holes at the bottom so that we could cut custom drywall cuts. This part can be a little tedious, but it's worth it in the end when you really see it all come together. When doing small custom cuts like this, you want to make sure you're not removing too much drywall. It's extremely brittle, so you want to take your time. Now that we have the cut that we're looking for, we basically just slide it in place, and we're going to mount it in place as well, keeping the bottoms of this unit flush with the bottom of the wall. This is the only part of the project where I use some really tiny nails. They're good for the structure and they sink into the drywall nicely as well. Another beautiful thing about drywall is once we finish mudding this project, everything will be nice and stiff. At this point in the project, I'm pretty happy with the progress, and it feels really good when you start to see all your hard work come to fruition. I will be the first to say that there is some serious proper technique to mudding drywall. This requires a lot of patience. It will require a lot of sanding as well, and you don't want any screws sticking out and no nails sticking out. All the parts of this project need to be nice and flush so that it matches the wall around it. I've been waiting a while to find the right piece of wood for the finishing caps, and I did find a really nice piece of wood, and we'll be using these to do the very finishing touches on the actuators at the very bottom to cover the holes and to make the holes perfect. This will not just give it a look of professionalism, but it will also show that there was a lot of time and care put into building this unit. And this is where we are so far. The finishing caps are in place. And lastly, we are on the most exciting part, and that is building the actual shelf that will be coming down and storing our items. If you're into this kind of stuff, once again, I appreciate the support, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button and click on that bell so you know when my next video is. This is one of my favorite projects. We also have a few more projects in the works, so make sure you stay tuned. Thanks again for watching. Take care. Enjoy your day. Bye.